So HTV Ront just released a new hand press. This is called the HTV Ront Mini 3. I guess it's the predecessor to the HTV Ront Mini, which was already small. At first I didn't know how I feel about it, but now I know, I get why they did this. Okay, so let me start by saying I know they wanted to create a product to solve a problem. They wanted to make a hand press that was small and compact. And they did it with this first model right here. It was small, very compact, lightweight, but they just had to go and try to improve on it. And I think that's what they did with this right here, kinda. And I thought this was fine. It was simple. They made it simplistic with just one button right here to operate the functionality. Real simple, and it did exactly what it was supposed to do. But now they allegedly improved on the product by adding some features. But by adding those features, to me it seemed like they kind of messed up just a little bit. But on the other hand, the added features kind of make it worth it to some people, but not everybody. I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you put them next to each other, you'll notice that the new one right here is a little bit bigger than the old one. And if the goal was to make something small and compact, they achieved that with the initial one, but they took some of the compactness away with the new one, but they added some new features. So I guess to add those new features, you had to make it a little bit bigger. I'm assuming that's why they did it, but I do like what they did. What they did was they added an LED screen at the bottom of it, and if you pick it up and face it towards you, you can read what's on the screen, and I think that's pretty cool. It also heats up very, very fast. One thing that I don't like about the new one compared to the small one is the old one, smaller one, this handset right here can fit perfectly inside of this protective carrying thing right here. Well, not carrying, but it's a protective stand, I guess. You sit your press in it. This one right here comes with this new scrunchy, foamy type of thing. And I'm freaked out because I feel like this thing is going to melt, even though it's most likely not going to melt. But it's just not, it can't fit in here as good. Like this one can fit in here. No, actually this one is a little bit too small to fit in here, which proves my point on the size factor. This one's way smaller. But this one doesn't seem to quite fit snugly at all. It doesn't fit in the bottom. It doesn't fit in the top portion. And this has two portions right here. It just kind of sits there. Kind of like loosey-goosey inside of it. So that's interesting as far as the design aspect of this right here. But the unit itself, I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's worth upgrading from this one to this one. But if you're somebody that are just getting into the hand press part of the game, I guess, then I would say if size is a factor to you, is the main factor to you, then go with this one. But for the new features, if I had to tell somebody to buy one or the other, I would definitely tell them to buy the new one, just because of the LED screen, and it seems like that is very, very well worth it. But in my opinion, I would have tried somehow to get this onto this small one right here, or replace this front right here with this right here. But I guess all the mechanics, all the electronics because it's an electrical item, couldn't fit in such a small form factor, so they had to make it just a little tiny bit bigger. But overall, I think this is a home run because the LED screen and because of how nice it is to use. You just press this button right here and you can adjust the time along with the temperature, and like I said, it heats up really, really fast. If you press the settings button, then you can adjust the temperature. If you press the settings button again, then you can adjust the time, and it adjusts in increments of 5 seconds. You can go from 1 second to 5 seconds to 10 seconds to 15 seconds, etc., etc. To use the countdown feature, you simply hold your hand on the power button and then release it. and then it starts to count down, and then when it's done you'll hear a beep. That's pretty cool, and then it's done. That's pretty cool right there. So this doesn't have a beep, doesn't have a countdown. It just has 3 lights. You can't see any settings on here. This is a whole lot more customizable. I say that's a win for HTV Ront. I think this is a really cool new hand press, and I don't know if it's worth upgrading. It depends on if you want these new features. It's a little bit heavier than the old one, a little bit bigger than the old one, a lot more features, packed with a lot more features in a very, very small form factor. So you're going to have to make the determination for yourself whether it's worth getting the new one or upgrading or not. If you want to upgrade, use my HTV Ront affiliate link in the description down below. If not, then you're perfectly fine with the old small one. Personally, I think I like having the new features. I think I like that. I like the fact that it counts down. I like the ability to know how much time you're pressing for as you're moving it back and forth, if you're pressing something that needs to be moved back and forth, because it takes away the room for error. It makes it a more trainable device, right? If your business runs on something like left chest, you can tell them, hey, set it for X amount of time, and then leave it on there for X amount of time. And you don't have to guess how much time or use a separate device to count down, so you can see how much time you're spending pressing. So overall, I say it's a good improvement on the old one. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments down below.